All right, Scott. Got our felt board here for
All right,
the
for the
Daniel story.
Um,
But all I could find were
that's-
the creation, like Adam and Eve.
that's not Daniel.
Yeah.
Hey, that's well,
What do you want to do with it?
I've got another idea. I think we can do it without this one because I've got some more stuff we can tell the story of Daniel with. So
Okay.
let's just
Sure.
put that
Let's
aside.
try it out.
And we will tell the story. I've got some figures over here. We can tell the story. I've got Daniel. See, Daniel right there. And
Okay.
I've got King Darius, of course, right there. He's a good guy.
Looks
And-
kind of like Han Solo.
Maybe.
Oh, all right. Well, what else do you have?
Well, we have in our story. Our story
Uh-huh.
today is about Daniel when he got in trouble for praying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. He got in trouble for doing the right thing. And in our story, it starts out, of course, with Daniel. And we'll have King Darius. He's the king in charge right there. And there were some people that did not like Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, he did things really well. Also, God blessed him and took care of him. And, sometimes when that happens, some people get jealous.
Oh, yeah.
And so
definitely.
the king put Daniel in charge of a whole lot of things in the country. And that made some people that were already in the country kind of mad.
Jealous.
So we had some advisors to the king that got upset. So they
Okay.
had some guys that were kind of not liking Daniel over here, like that.
Stormtroopers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fitting. Stormtroopers are not the nice guys,
Yeah, so they
right?
weren't the nice guy. Plus, of course, General Grievous, it wasn't a really nice guy. He probably was really mad at Daniel. And, of course, this is the emperor, evil emperor. So
He's
these
really
are,
bad.
Yeah, these are the guys that
Mhm.
did not like Daniel.
Okay.
But they were this story starts in the palace.
Oh.
Well,
Well, what are we going to do about a palace?
Have I got an idea? All right, let's move our guys out here over.
Okay.
See, this can
Bad
be
guys
our
here.
Our palace, kind of here, like the throne room stuff up here. So we have King Darius.
I love it.
Yeah, King Darius
Got a tower and everything.
is up here, and he's let's call that his throne right up here. He may fall down every once in a while because King Darius doesn't know it. And we got
So,
Daniel. Daniel's
yeah.
in charge of a lot of things, and King Darius would tell Daniel, "Hey, I want this done," and Daniel would go, "I'll get it done," and he'd go off and take care of it. Well, these guys, they all got jealous of Daniel.
So I
And they
think I remember Daniel was in his room praying.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
First starts
Okay.
out as these guys, they get mad at Daniel and they want to catch him doing
Mhm.
wrong. Problem is, Daniel always does what's right. And they stopped and they had this little conference. So these guys got together and they're like, "What are we gonna do about Daniel? I don't like Daniel. He took my job. Pew pew." All that. And then one of the guys had an idea, and he said, "If we catch Daniel, the only thing we're going to catch him on is if it's something to do with him following God."
That's
His
right,
God,
because they
yes.
knew that Daniel loved God.
So they came up with that idea because they knew Daniel always prayed. Remember that
Mhm.
story? He
Yeah.
always prayed to God like 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Always did that. And so they figured out, we've got a way to catch him. So these guys all went up to the king and, they kind of did that thing that the little minion guys do. They talk to the king, "King, you're great. You're a super guy." They're just kind of lying, but they're trying to make the king feel good. And they said, "King, you're so important." Let's get this stormtrooper up here. I like him up there. "You're so important that we think for the next 30 days, people should only pray to you."
What?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. And the king was listening to these guys, and, sometimes kings like to hear people talk good about them all the time. And, just around saying, "Hey, Becca, you are so smart." And you're like, "Yes."
I
"Hey,
know.
Becca, you are so good at typing things."
Yeah.
Yeah. And you like to hear all those things. And they're talking to him and kind of buttering him up a bit. And you're, "King, you're so smart. So we think people should only pray to you in the next 30 days. Pray to no one else because you're a special king." And the king's like, "Sounds like a good idea."
Makes me feel important.
You think that's a good idea? I don't think it was a good idea. But the king wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
So the king said, "That's a great idea." And so they would write it down as a law.
Oh.
Yeah. So we had
Laws
to
are
have
things that you
you
have to
you
follow,
it.
right?
So they got a scribe to write it down because they had a person there that would write things down. And the king said, "I think, every Friday should be ice cream night." and it would become a law, and they would write it down. So
I like that law.
We had a scribe. Write down, I will, the law. King, to king pray only.
He kind of looks like Yoda.
No, this is the scribe.
No, it's the scribe.
Scribe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he wrote down the law, prayed to king only, and when he wrote it down, the king said it, so it became law.
Uh-huh.
Even the king couldn't change it. That was kind of a weird rules they had, but so if he wrote it down, it had to happen.
Wow.
So
that's
he
a
wrote it down.
big
The king
deal.
That's a great idea. So the king was all okay with that, and the guys, here's what they did.
Haha.
They snuck off, ready to catch Daniel, because Daniel always went. What? How many times a day did he go?
3 times.
3 times a day. So Daniel went to his room.
There he is, praying in his room.
There he is, and he opened the windows up, and he would face to where Jerusalem was,
Oh.
because that's where he came from, and he would pray.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't like hiding in his closet to pray. Everybody knew he was praying. So these guys, they watched. And when they saw Daniel do that, I bet they were down here watching. And when they saw Daniel do that, they went, yay, pew, pew, pew. They were excited with his little, he fired there. And they went and they got
Captured
Daniel
him.
and they brought him to the king. And they told the king, King, you remember that law you had? Remember that law? Well, Daniel broke it.
Oh.
He was praying to his God, not to you.
And the king couldn't do anything about
Yeah,
it?
and the king was very sad because the king, remember, he really liked Daniel.
Daniel.
And so the king was really sad, but he had to follow the rule. So Daniel was going to have to get put, part of the rule was if you didn't follow the law, you got punished by getting put into a den full of lions. So let's say we got this den over here.
The lions eat people.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of scary.
What's he
So
going to do?
Daniel and the king, and everybody goes out to throw Daniel into the lion's den. These guys are all excited. The king is very sad.
Yeah.
They had the...
Let's take the castle away for a minute so we can go to lions.
so we had a lion's den.
Now hold on. Those are not lions.
No, these are Wookiees. I looked. I couldn't find lions. All I could find were these little tigers, and they don't look real scary.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
I
guess
thought,
Wookiees are
let's just go
scarier
with
than
Wookiees.
lions. Okay,
So-
so these are our lions.
A lion's den. So they took Daniel to the lion's den, and the guys, the soldiers, marched him up there, and they put him in the
Threw
lion's
him
den.
in there. Oh, and he was surrounded
Surrounded
by
by
them.
lions.
Oh my
and
goodness.
the king.
And they just went.
No, that's not.
That's
Yeah.
Is that not the story?
We don't do that with the action figures.
oh sorry.
Sorry. No, that's not the story. See, the king was very sad about it. And he said, Daniel, may your God protect you. And Daniel really wasn't worried.
Oh.
So they put him in there and they went away for the night. They put like a big stone on top of the entrance to keep him trapped in there. And these guys went off, I think, to go have a party because they were so excited that they
I
caught
bet they
Daniel.
knew Daniel
The
would be
king,
dead.
he went back to his room and he just worried all night long. Daniel. You know what
Fought
he
the
did?
lions.
No.
He fought them off and
I
he
noticed
got
that
away.
He didn't actually have a lightsaber with him. What
Oh.
Daniel did is he got down on his knees and he prayed. And he talked to God.
He kept praying?
He kept praying. He talked to God. And here's what happened. God sent an angel. Okay, it's a little Bo Peep, but I couldn't find an angel.
She's angelic.
And she's not really a Star Wars character. But God sent an angel, and the angel closed the mouth of the lion and kept Daniel protected all night.
Whoa.
the little Bo
That's
Peep
a
angel.
miracle.
Yes, very much so.
Wow.
So the angel, of course, we'll put her back over here. So the king, next morning, got excited. He came up and he opened up the lion's den. He was worried about Daniel's. He called in there, Daniel. And Daniel's like, yep, right here. And they're like, you're okay? And he said, yes. God came, sent an angel, closed the mouth of the lions.
What a surprise.
And so the king was excited. He brought Daniel out of there. And then the king was not real happy. He kind of changed some rules. And the guys that got Daniel in trouble got put in the
But the lions'
Wookiee
mouths
den.
were still closed, right?
No, not then. They weren't. The Wookiee den. So
So they got punished for
but
dishonoring God.
Daniel, he was taken care of because he trusted in God. And Daniel, even though he wasn't sure what God was going to do, he still wasn't going to break God's law. He was still going to pray to him. And that made King Darius very happy that Daniel was safe. And he followed God a lot more. He still had some
bet.
problems. In fact, sometimes later there were a few other kings that came after King Darius. I know they look alike because they were related. That didn't
Didn't
follow God
follow
as well.
God.
And there's some more that maybe we'll tell some more of those stories about Daniel and some of the kings there in Babylon.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, but not today, because today's story is about Daniel trusting God and doing the right thing, even when it was wrong
and scary.
And scary. And he did that. And then, of course, after that came in and goes, oh, Daniel, you're our only hope. That
now,
was so...
no, wrong character, wrong story.
Yeah, this is Ray, and that was, yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
thanks for showing
That's what happened in the
this.
story. I hope that helped you out.
Yeah.
And
even though you didn't get lions, it was really interesting.
You've probably never heard the story of Daniel told with Star Wars action figures before.
I have not.
Maybe it's a first for you guys. It's always fun to get different things, but to tell Bible stories with them. So maybe you can try that at home. Hey kids, we wanted to let you know that for now, this is our last weekly video that we're going to do. We're going to start doing them just monthly because we're starting up and we've got crew worship going on Sunday mornings, and we're going to have crew second hour going on, and we got lots of fun stuff going. So we're just going to start doing these about once a month, and we'll make sure you hear about them, and we'll have some fun with our videos then. Today, there is material attached.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out on that. A cool lion craft and some coloring things, and an activity to do to talk about being brave like Daniel, not because you're big and strong, but because God's taking care of you.
Yeah, and it's the right thing to do.
Well, we miss you guys. We hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Luke, no, I am your father.
No, you're not.
Well, yeah, because this is not Darth Vader, and
my dad's name is Greg.
That's Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's
I'm gonna fly away now.
That's not what happened. Becca.
Yeah, I was playing football the other day, and this guy came and tackled me, and oh, hey, pretty lady.
All right, Becca. Here we go, and
pew 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 pew.
Yeah, he can't even hit you.
I'm using the Force.
Oh no, it's a stormtrooper. Don't worry.
I'll just stand still.
Yeah, they can't hit anything. So
keep shooting. Nothing will happen.
They miss all the time. I think they can't see very well through their helmets.
Yeah, they need to clean those goggles off a little bit.
And so Daniel trusted God, and he took care of him in the lion's den. And that's how the story of Daniel and the lion's den ends.
Yay!
Hey, Buzz, do you think they'll ever use us in a Bible story?
Yeah, I could fly in there and save everybody.
Yeah, no, I don't think you can fly.
What does this button do?
I think
I'm a real astronaut. What are you talking about?
Maybe the next story we can be in the story about, I don't know, how about David and Goliath? I'm a little taller than you.
What are you thinking? I'll take you down in a minute.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's what happens in that story.
I don't know what you're referring to, but we'll come back to that.
All right. To infinity and beyond.
Wait, that's my line.
Oops, sorry.